How have you been? How's practice?
Uh, Questionable.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay,
I
in
hear you've
terms
been
of,
killing your lifts though.
yeah, I've been killing my lifts. That's nice, but my Overwatch progress has come to a halt, or even has been regressing. And yeah, so I figured it was a nice time maybe to get a coaching session.
Okay. Okay. Well, why do you think that is? Not necessarily bad reasons, but just other things have felt priority or
Yeah, like I think the main thing is that I've been having less time. Back at the beginning of the year, I had sleeping issues, and to fix it, I had to reduce the time I slept, and so I had a lot of time to play
right,
because I was bored.
right, right.
And yeah, that's been fixed. So now I sleep more, and I have less time to play Overwatch.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been kind of struggling with, I still try to basically dedicate 2 hours to it every day, but it's actually I feel like it's not enough, so I stress about it. And yeah, it's not a positive cycle, let's put it
Right.
this
Well,
way.
when you're stressing about it, does that affect your play at all?
And yeah, I think so a little. No, I was basically done. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, also I feel like I have overall less energy.
Which makes
May
sense.
maybe I put more effort into work, I guess. So like when I play Overwatch after work, I feel a bit tired most of the time.
Mhm. I,
And
this is just anecdotal, but I find I kind of have to if I put there's like three things you can put priority into, right? Like you only
mhm,
have so many points that you can spend.
yeah,
I'm very passionate about my work, so I spend a lot of
yeah,
points on work. Right? I
yeah,
try to do a
makes
good job in
sense.
work, right? Maybe you're in that department as well, right?
Yeah,
And then also I'm pretty passionate about speed training and some fitness. Maybe not as passionate as I am about work, but it is a very important thing to me. And then very
hmm,
passionate about my family, so I spend a lot of time with Pepper and family, and that's like obviously a huge priority.
yeah,
And then that's it. And there's like little things like music that I spend some time with, some flag football stuff that I spend some time with. Um, but for example, I play this board game called Dominion with Pepper a lot. And
hmm,
I'm pretty good at it, um, but I'm never really going to be great at it because I just don't have
okay,
the time or energy to like go full out. And it's the same thing even with Overwatch. Like every time I play Overwatch, I'm probably going to stay around low mid masters probably till the end of time at Overwatch. Um,
yeah,
because I'll play like a couple hours of quick play a week, and every other week I pick like a hero and just do several competitive games for like content.
hmm,
That's pretty much it. And that will be it forever. And the only reason I'm even masters is because I back in the day I spent so much time grinding my mechanics that like if I give time to practice mechanics, like I can always kind of get it back. And obviously I
hmm,
have like a wealth of knowledge of like how to play the game. So
yeah,
but it's like I'm just never gonna hit Grandmaster at Overwatch anytime soon. Like unless I like actually like have some plan or strategy, right? So like I guess
yeah,
that's the question to ask yourself is like where are your points going into? And how have they shifted over time too?
yeah. No, that makes sense, and I think it's part of the problem. The thing is, I've kind of accepted that, yeah, my points are not, yeah, like my priorities are work, as you said, like work, workout, and yeah, yeah, family time, and Overwatch comes after all that.
Yeah. And you're good at
Uh,
Overwatch. That's the thing. Like I think you and I can gaslight ourselves and be like, "Oh, I'm not very good," but you are good. You are very good at Overwatch.
that's the thing. Like my ego now is like, of course not. Like,
Right?
I'm
Because
I'm
because
back to diamond, and I feel like, yeah, this is like trash level.
right because the expectations have shifted, right?
Yeah.
Because you're comparing yourself to yourself, which is good if you'd be able to make continual progress. But you also have to be honest with yourself. See, that's the tricky thing. Is it's like we always talk about don't compare yourself to the average player base. You should always be the better version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
But even that is not totally accurate because you can't always progress at things. It's just not possible. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to see yourself get worse. Like, how do you think Michael Jordan felt when he could no longer dunk a basketball?
That dude, I cannot imagine. Like, I
You
think
know
it
what I'm
must be
saying?
fucking horrible.
It must be terrible, right? So, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like where you're at. Maybe right now, maybe not, um, but maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
So, where are you at time wise? 2 hours it says on the form a day.
Yeah, more or less. Like,
Oh,
yeah, in the week, during the week, I try to put 2 hours. More often, it ends up being maybe like a bit less, maybe 1.5 hours.
so is that like four
Uh,
games?
yeah, like I try to aim for like 6 games, but yeah, sometimes it's just 4 or 5.
Okay.
Rarely below that. And then during the weekend, obviously, I have more time. So, like, yeah, on the weekend, it's the opposite, where I'm actually like, I feel like I'm doing the bad thing where I'm just like, yeah, let's just spam Overwatch all afternoon. And so I'm trying to like force myself to stop at some point
Right.
yeah, I mean, at
What could
some
be
point you just
negative,
can't
right?
focus. Exactly.
Right. You want to set yourself like you can't super compensate really with anything that takes any sort of significant effort. It's not like cleaning the house. I got to catch up at cleaning the house. It's like requires way more
Yeah.
like focus than that. Okay. Okay. And then how is that time spent? I mean, we've talked about a lot of these things, but I assume that you're competitive, you're warming up. Do you have any questions about any of
Yeah, actually, I did have some question about it. So usually I try to warm up maybe like 5 minutes. Um, yeah, nothing special. And yeah, like I had one question, which is I basically never VOD review
that? Mm-hmm.
because one, it's extremely boring.
Mm-hmm.
Two, like monkey brain goes like, you don't need to VOD review, you're just bad anyways.
Right.
And three, I'm thinking, well, if I don't have that much time to play Overwatch, should I not just play and not VOD review instead?
Yeah.
And
Well, you're still getting a decent amount of time.
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And it is boring, maybe, but can we make it more interesting? And can we also make it not like a huge time sink? I guess are like all of my questions. The answer to
Yeah.
all those is surely. Um, hmm. Here's the thing to consider why I like self-VOD review, right? So you've seen my videos, you've done coaching.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
my philosophy for the game. And I think it would be amazing if everybody in the Overwatch community was familiar with my concepts, right?
Hmm.
I think I have the best way of communicating them and the best concepts ever. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's part of my ego,
Obviously.
but that obviously I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think I had something to provide.
Yeah.
However, and this is really important, I actually think that my concepts and teaching is it would be bad if people just memorize what I said.
Yeah.
What I learn is most effective is if the way I teach things is like a inspiration for people to pull their own concepts, their own way of looking at the game from, if that makes any
Okay.
sense. So, for example, somebody like Egoist Cat, who's like I would consider my peer in like the coaching educational macro community. He and I don't always see eye to eye, but whenever
Hmm.
he made videos, he would always provoke really interesting thoughts in my brain that I was like, yo, that's actually a really good idea. And I'd sit and think about it and I'd come up with I would evolve my own understanding using him as inspiration.
Okay.
And Pepper just the other day was talking to me about, oh, how Widowmaker, I was just thinking about something that you told me. And I was like, well, what about this? And I was like, oh, I realized that and she was like explaining this thought process to me and she was putting it in her own words, basically.
Hmm.
That's what self-VOD review does. It's not just about getting things for you to work on. It's about kind of challenging yourself to learn and think about things, creating your own like mental tools,
Okay.
shortcuts, like almost like limericks, little things to memorize, in your brain that are yours, not mine that I've given you, but yours. So you will remember them better, understand them better, and be able to apply them better with your own thought processes. Because unfortunately, even though I've worked with you a few times, I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
You know you that well.
Hmm.
That's what I think self-VOD review provides.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And I would like to, if you're interested, I'd like to do that today.
Yeah, sure.
You're interested? Okay.
Let's do it.
Let me zoom through your form really fast here. Comfortable with your
Okay.
hero pool? Your hero pool is pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie. And by
Yes, I
intense, I
have
don't mean
questions.
big. I don't mean big. I just mean difficult, I guess I would say. Go ahead.
Okay, like, yeah, my problem is, so my hero pool up to this season used to be Anna, Kiriko, Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think friendship is over with Mercy. And I was like, okay, Illari is cool, I'm gonna play her.
Good. Right.
And yeah, my problem is I still feel like, okay, like my hero pool is nice and cool, but if the enemy have like really like, I was gonna say coordinated dive, but
Yeah.
relatively coordinated, let's put it this way, then I can't do shit. Like, if my co-healer picks Anna and just dies on repeat, like especially like against Monkey, I feel like none of my hero have a lot of shield break or the ability to heal through the bubble, so it's just like making me frustrated, and so I pick Brig in those situations.
Okay.
And
So
then, like, since I've dropped Mercy, if someone picks Farah, I feel like forced to pick Mercy anyways.
Illari is probably one of the best Farah counters in the entire Sportcast. She's amazing. You just need to get good.
No, I mean like someone in my team.
Oh. Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, oh, but I'm throwing if I don't pick Mercy.
No, you're
Because
not
they're
throwing.
picking Farah.
If as long as you have Ana, you're okay. Even Kiriko can work. Or if somebody has like a Zen Brig, you'll be okay.
Okay.
So you're saying you're struggling into hard dive, but struggling with Farah.
Yeah.
Strange.
Like, basically, I kind of feel like if my team doesn't try to adapt, then I should. And
Okay.
I don't think it's a very good way to think necessarily, but
No, because really, okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna provide you the cheat code for this particular question.
yeah,
Really, with Ana, especially with Illari and Kiriko, but even with Ana to an extent, if you have so many tools to deal with dive, like you have so many tools to deal with dive. So to be honest with you, it's an understanding and execution issue. Like Illari single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, almost single-handedly killed dive. The Sombra Tracer stuff. She couldn't play it. She's too strong. So it's going to be more of like, okay, well, what's going on here, and we can talk about that in the game. But you should have options. The Farah one is like more of a, that's something that you got to get over yourself. Just like, all right, listen, I'm gonna heal her as best I can, but I can't like go crying. I think it's also harder because I would never concern myself with it because playing Mercy never even occurs to me. But it's harder for you because you did play Mercy, right? So there's always that little inner voice going, you should play Mercy. And you're like, no, shut up, right?
Especially like, I'm like, I can play Mercy at that level. I'm okay with it. But I mean, yes, it works, but then I don't improve on the other heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And also a fun factor, right? I mean, everyone loves winning, but there's some sacrifices that I'm not willing to make, Probably with you too. I'd rather play Illari, play Illari.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions with that?
No, that's mostly it.
What do you feel is holding back from improving mentality and mechanics? Did we talk mostly about that?
Oh yeah, we did. One thing about mechanics is I've noticed lately that, okay, the thing is sometimes I'm posting clips on like Stuck's Discord.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you have feminine aim.
What?
And and I've realized that I think why they think I have feminine aim is because they say like it's smooth, blah blah blah, but I think it's because I don't know how to flick, basically. Like Overwatch is my first shooter, and and I don't know to what point, like to what extent I should worry myself with that and try to work on it more. And
is this on Illari or all your characters?
On all my characters.
Have you tried going on a testosterone supplement?
I take ashwagandha. Does that work?
Okay. Yeah, that was definitely fix the flicking problem. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of a bizarre comment to be honest, but yeah, I mean, I guess we could look at it. I guess.
Yeah. No, like basically my question was more like, I guess like should I really try hard, like have an aim training routine or something? Like to what extent?
Um, I would say if you feel that your mechanics are weak-ish for your rank, then you can always do more work in Vaxta, do spend more time in Deathmatch, spend more
Yeah.
time and coincidentally the Stux code, right? I think the Stux code is pretty reasonable for the characters that you're playing.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty much the answer. You know, if you want to, you could do that. If you feel like it's an issue, sure. It may
Okay.
not. It may be. I mean, I will try to remind me if I don't say anything about your mechanics. I'll give you my 2 cents. But yeah, I
Okay.
don't think it's stupid. Like oh, I don't flick enough. Well, then practice flicking. I guess. Like I don't really know. Like
How do you
target.
practice flicking?
Well, you tell me. The answer is generally
I
a lot
have
simpler
no
than that.
idea.
Put your crosshair away from the target and then flick it to the target. Make
Okay.
yourself flick more. But at the same time, you don't want to practice that too much because you don't want to. Like Pepper has a problem of where she'll consciously not put her crosshair near the target and try to flick over. And I'm like, why are you making it a harder flick than you need to? Right? Track then
Yeah.
micro flick. Track then micro flick. That's how proper aiming works. But there are circumstances where
Okay.
the target just appears and you have to flick your crosshair over. And maybe that's something that you're not as good at.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I don't know. Oh, I wouldn't
Okay.
worry about it. That's also not super important for I would say Ana Kiriko as much. Maybe Ana a little bit with your sleep dart, but honestly,
Yeah.
we're talking about
Like
like
I've
such
always felt
micro
like
details, you know.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know I was gonna say I always felt like my sleeps were my biggest issue with Ana. Like I can hit nades, I can do damage, but also most of the time I like do this thing where I wiggle my mouse around when I'm using sleep and it's terrible. So yeah,
Yeah,
might
I
be
noticed that
useful.
that might be a confidence issue, just like where you're not sure, so that you're like hesitant to like actually put it in place. So you just kind of like bleh, throw it in your general direction, hope it hits. But we'll
Yeah.
see. Okay. You
Okay.
want any other questions, or do you just want to continue?
Nope, that was it in my
Okay,
questions list.
let us go.
So yeah. So I have two codes, one with Illari and the other with Kiriko.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, okay. Also, one thing is, regarding hero pools,
Hmm.
I have like, I think this season, 14 hours on Ana and 6 hours on both Illari and Kiriko.
Okay.
Because I just feel like Ana like fits in more situations.
Okay. Could be. Could be.
Like, should I just like stop doing that and
I don't know. You tell me. Do you enjoy playing? Do you want to play more Kiriko and Illari? Do you feel like they're like falling behind your Ana?
yeah, like that's the thing. Like Ana is the only one with which I have like a positive win rate.
Okay, then yeah, you need to put more hours on the other characters. We could talk about
Okay,
what compositions would work that maybe you don't
okay,
know.
okay. Then like okay,
I
this.
think both are reasonably flexible. Which one do you want to start with?
Maybe the Illari one
Okay.
since never did Illari coaching.
Yeah.
Ready for battle.
I don't remember the game much except that it was close. But I think the first point was very boring.
Capture the
Why would you pick Illari in this composition? Why does she work? She does work.
Wait, let me see back again. Okay. So we had an Ana for the Genji, and then like we were more pokey, so I figured it works because I can stay around with my Sigma, and
Mhm.
like Sigma usually doesn't like move too much, so I can
Sure.
like have my pylon around him and be good with him,
So you're
basically.
overthinking it way too much, which is already telling me why you're not picking
Okay.
Illari. Okay. You play Illari. Ask yourself, does your tank need a ton of healing? And can I heal him?
Okay.
And then ask
So
yourself, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all.
So no and yes in this
I
case.
wouldn't even worry about my Genji because my Genji should be flexible enough to where like even if we run it with like a Kiriko or a BAP, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. He'd
Yeah.
prefer an Ana or a Brig or a Zen, but he's not gonna die without it. You'll be okay. You're like, oh, he doesn't move around a lot because Pylon.
Yeah.
But like it's not that big of a deal. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
No,
He'll be
by
fine.
move around a lot, I meant your second question. Like, can I heal him? That was what I meant.
Got it.
It's
Okay,
like, for
yes, but
example,
less for
if
Pylon, more for your secondary fire. To be honest with you.
yeah.
Okay. And then also with your own like the reason why I look at the healing is because I want to play DPS Illari like 90% of the
Yeah.
time, and I need to know if that's going to be something I'm going to be allowed to do. And so the Sigma is great. Sigma doesn't demand a lot of healing. Even if we're running it with like a Zen Brig, I could honestly just DPS Illari. It's fine. He'll
Yeah.
be fine. So what about the enemy comp? Let's say I replace Kiriko with Illari. Would that work?
I mean, Ryan demands a lot of support, and Mercy is going to be mostly with the DPSs. So I'd say like it's gonna be a bit more
But doable.
challenging,
Right?
but doable. Yeah.
Why doable? What is Ryan going to be diving all the time? I guess is the question.
Nope. So
No.
she can heal him, and
It's not
yeah.
optimal, but it's very doable. So if you avoided picking Illari and go Ana, you could go Ana. Ana would be better, but Illari would also be very, very good. Especially on a map like this, right? Now, what about if we replace the Mercy with Illari?
Then I guess that worked too. Like
Or
she
same
could
thing.
leave the yeah.
Right? Same thing, right? What about Kiriko? What if you were like? I mean, look at this. They're playing Kiriko Mercy, right? You come on, you could do it. If you wanted to play Kiriko with this, you could, right? You could go, Kiriko Ana. You could go Kiriko Mercy is okay. I mean, it would mean that you might have to heal bot a little bit more, but you could do it.
Yeah.
Now, what if you're in your composition right now? Could you go Kiriko in this comp?
I considered it, but I figured like no one would really use my ult, and
You don't need anybody to use your ult besides yourself. To be honest.
okay.
I
think that
the
was
ult,
my reasoning.
okay. The ult is like it's still important, but it's like because you're going to be playing on angles a lot, and because it's been nerfed pretty hard, it doesn't have to be a group up ultimate all the time.
Okay.
Have to be. And in your Genji could use it, your Sigma could use it. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Kiriko in this composition is also really, really good. You don't need a lot of healing. You can hard flank with your Genji. You can just hard flank by yourself. Yeah, to be honest with this, like either composition, Kiriko or Illari.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So what have you been trying to do with Illari?
I've been trying to keep my Pylon mobile quite a bit.
Yes.
Like as the fight progresses, and yeah, basically only heal when I have to and try to DPS more.
Sure. How do you do that?
Like taking off angles.
Sure. For me, it's less about trying to DPS and more about setting up the position so that the DPS presents itself, right? Because you could be like, I'm gonna try and DPS more, but if I'm standing behind my tank, it's gonna be almost less impactful for me to be constantly DPSing. So like you need to proactively like look at a position that allows you to DPS. Like right now, I like this rollout, but then if I see like my Sigma with me here, honestly, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Like really, truly. Like I think I like this rollout. I mean, I just played a game and ranked actually on this map, and I just went here. My entire team won on point, and I just literally just off angled and just bullied their backline. Didn't get. I don't think I got a single kill, but we won the fight because their backline like literally was all focusing me down. But where should you be right now, right?
Well, I mean, since my Sig is here, I could be like on the right side around the point.
Where else could you be?
On the left, like near the, I think it's a mega.
Yeah. You look at their composition, right? Are you going to get punished for holding this angle or even holding this angle here?
No, like I could be there, and I mean, if they push me too hard, I have the jump.
Yep, and you'll have your pylon set up too, right? So
yeah,
you're good to go. I would probably prefer right just because the sightlines are a little bit better. I like leaning into my poke a little bit more. Her mobility is kind of like if I was Kiriko, I would probably go here. If I'm Illari, I'd probably go here. You kind of see like there's the dynamic there. But I think I would even shift out here, drop my pylon right here, start plunking away, right? Get the opportunity, maybe even shift out this way, drop my pylon here, start plunking away. Like you have to understand, with your turret, you're at like medium to long range, you're maybe the best 1v1 character in the entire game.
Yeah. But
Um,
I think the big thing is that I always feel like I need to either be with my tank or have my turret near him.
right, right. It's you are a. We talk about Kiriko, right? Like Kiriko back in the day could heal bot tank, but it would not be
Yeah.
optimal. It's the same thing with you. It's the same thing with you. Like you really are going to lose a lot of value by staying here. A lot of
Okay.
value. Again, it's the support mindset where it's like I'm gonna try and cause more havoc on the angle. And remember, you're being a support. Like this is actually really important. Your support is the fact that you don't demand support. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? If a Widowmaker were to hold an angle here or Genji to hold an angle here, that would be very helpful for your team, right? But
Yeah.
but what? What happens
Well,
if they get shot?
it'd be, I mean, in this case, right now, with where I am and Anna is, it'd be very problematic for
It would be
them.
very
That need
problematic.
to, yeah,
Right.
they'd need to basically run to the mini on behind.
So they would take attention and resource, and you'd have to look over.
Yeah.
But you don't. You're like, you know what, Anna? You just take care of those guys. I will take care of myself. Don't worry about me. And that's what makes the character really, really strong. Is she's self-sufficient. So that in of itself is a support. Your Anna doesn't have to worry about you. You take care of yourself. And then in addition, you're pulling Ryan resources. You're pulling Soldier and Mercy and Kiriko and Ash and so on. Right. So
Okay.
that's something really, really important.
I think I'm gonna get this printed.
Because like you see right now, it's like what is your contribution right now? Right?
Nothing.
It's nothing,
Jack
right?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I was like, shit, I should shoot the DPSS instead of trying to shoot Ryan. But
Right,
yeah.
right. You have the right idea, but you're doing yourself no favors with setting up, right? And that's
Yeah.
the problem is you can watch my videos and stocks and have all these ideas of like how to play the character, but if you don't position properly, it feels awful to do it, right? Now I want to point out one little mechanical thing here.
Yeah.
This is what I would call not necessarily poor mechanics, but poor mentality.
Yeah.
You're panicking. I can see it.
Yeah.
You need to relax. The reason why I love Illari is because she is the best trigger discipline character in the entire cast, maybe up there with Sojourn.
Yeah.
Where if you're not relaxed and confident and calm, you will have a really hard time playing this character.
Okay.
Think about Ana, Bat, Zen. All taking your shots are really important, right? But they're very spammy, right? Spam, 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 shoot. You missed the first shot, you just hit another shot immediately afterwards. That's not the case with you, right? So if you are not confident, like actually setting your crosshair, lining up your shot, and flicking, right? You're gonna have a terrible time, which is what makes this character so good for you, right? Because this is going to be a really good skill for you to practice. So all you need to do here is miss every shot, but take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Now, what I will say is your tempo of your shots was perfect. Fully charged every time. That's hard to do. That's impressive.
I've practiced that in my nice code.
See, look what you did. Look what you did. This is the irony here. Watch this for just a brief second. So obviously, yes, a little bit stupid, right? Okay, the beam doesn't reach, right? But while you're beaming, you're not hitting a shot. Then you panic and miss a shot. However, if you had just freaking hit this shot earlier, then this Genji, I think, might have lived because the soldier would have had to go back. Like, look at what happens to this Ashe. Right? 78 HP.
Yeah.
You know? I think it's hard with Illari to feel like you're doing a lot of damage because I think the sound design of her shot is really bad. I
agree.
It fits the lore, but it feels terrible. It feels very unimpactful. It feels like you're stabbing somebody with a needle, you know? It doesn't actually feel impactful. But
and it,
go ahead.
it looks like a projectile, and I don't know, it's so off.
Yeah, it feels wrong, but you have to understand that what you just did to that Ashe was critical. Like, look at that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying. If you'd hit like a headshot with a Zen and like a body shot, you would have felt so much more impactful, right? But yet somehow this character doesn't feel the same. Now, I've been doing a lot of like teaching here, yeah. However, I I think you're kind of getting the feel for things, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and transition here to self-review. Ready?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So we're clean reset. You know your responsibilities, not just versus this composition, but most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
So,
this is why Illari killed dive. You don't peel. You just control an angle, and you basically you can cancel hack with your shift, right? You
Yeah.
can because it does damage. You're very good at dueling tracers, even just a body shot, right? Turret is very
Yeah.
difficult to break. All those reasons, right?
yeah. So
So
here,
let's go.
so first of all, we swapped to Rhine, which is still fine because we have an Ana, especially.
Can I
But
pause
here
you
I'm
really
not.
quick? I know you're mostly explaining this to me to like showcase that you're thinking through these things, but I don't
Yeah.
care. If you're self-reviewing yourself, you wouldn't be saying that to yourself, right?
Okay.
We know, yes, you're fine. Nothing has changed that's important to you, so ignore it.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
why
So
we don't want to make VOD review boring, right?
yeah.
We don't care.
Here I should be elsewhere, like probably in the near the statue in the middle. I could probably see the backline from there. There. Yeah, like I could try maybe to get some shots to the Ash and Kiri if I was there, or maybe go a bit deeper.
I mean, he's right here, right?
Oh wait, yeah, I got confused because I thought we were blue, but we're not blue.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
You win that 1v1, right?
yeah.
So they pylon
Oh.
here.
Or at the very least, I make him like fuck off to Narnia.
Again, like I said, with your pylon, I really strongly feel that you're like the best 1v1 character in the game. And if you're struggling like mechanically, then you need to keep doing these 1v1s until you're not struggling mechanically. And
Okay.
the confidence is built. Because you should win this 1v1.
Okay.
Until and then he has to run away, and then what?
Yeah.
Because let's just pretend that you won the 1v1, he runs away, maybe he doesn't even die. Then what?
Okay. Well then, like I have free access to like basically the entire right side of the map, and I can take shots like from this angle, and I kind of want to say like at some point I could even step on the point to force them to move.
Cheeky, but yeah, okay.
Like, yeah, okay. We don't talk about this.
Oh, I'd love to talk about it.
I did not remember this. I think here I decided, yeah, that I could go support my Ash on the off angle. So that was better than the fight before.
But it required somebody to take the off angle before you would take it. Right?
Yeah, I think I don't have the confidence yet to say like I'm gonna go alone there.
But you should.
Like
should.
yeah, on Kiriko I try to do it more, but I feel like well if I fail I just TP back, and I'm good. But yeah, on Illari I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But
See,
yeah, here
like even here it's like you're very hesitant. You notice this? Like deepen. Like I want to get a sight line. I want to be on point here shooting people, you know, and then I can always shoot back, right? You need to avoid getting too close, but yeah, there you go. It feels like it takes you so long.
Yeah. Like here, I'm really doing nothing.
No
because I'm
confidence
too
at
hesitant.
all. No, yeah, none.
Yeah, like I could have at least like jiggle peeked a bit to like get some shots. And
yeah. I think it's tricky. No, go ahead.
No, like I was thinking, I left my pylon. Like I think it was on the point because I was like, oh, it's gonna heal Ash, but. Like looking back at it, like Ash was toast. I mean, she had
if you don't shoot the soldier, she's toast.
Yeah, so I feel like I should have like brought my pylon like to me and tried to shoot the soldier with the additional healing.
Leave the pylon and at least try to hit the soldier a couple of times. Make him look at you. By that time, the pylon to actually do something. Because I don't think the pylon was necessarily bad. Just didn't do anything with your gun at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just basically spectating a bit the game for a while.
Now, I don't mind you being here. As long as with the intention of going where?
The opposite direction of my Rhine, I guess. Like, okay. I mean, given that the Rhine seems to be coming right side, I wouldn't want to go to him.
Mhm.
So I might peek from the left,
Sure. Rotate left. Where?
like behind the wall on the left.
Sure.
Yeah,
I see
I
soldier over
can.
here. I might
Yeah,
shift over here, throw my pylon, and take the duel here.
yeah.
You know, something to consider. Is it ego a little bit? But yeah, but you notice that like the reason why I want you to have more confidence is not because I think that you're the best mechanically or anything like that, but let's put it this way. Remember, on paper, you should have an advantage in these duels, so you need to
Yeah.
be taking them. Because if the
Yeah.
problem is your mechanics, then then you need to keep practicing until the mechanics are no longer a problem. It's not about making silly risks. It's about going that should be a good thing for me. So I need to
Mhm.
recognize that and attack that. If the problem is your mechanics, like let's put it this way: if you're in a widow duel and you know where the widow is and she doesn't know where you are, if you don't peek that widow, you're feeding. Even if you lose
Yeah.
the duel, it was still the right thing. You need to keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like,
You notice this VOD review has been fairly simple, right?
yeah.
Nice ult. Very confident with your ultimate. Maybe almost a little overconfident, right?
I've been figuring that if you want to do stuff with this ult, you kind of need to flank. I don't know if this is a good thinking or not.
I agree with it. The only thing I would caution you with is just make sure that you're still playing your cover, because I think
Yeah,
people get
there's
this.
an Ashe and a soldier.
You have the Valkyrie mindset, but it's
Yeah.
not Valkyrie because you're not healing yourself.
Yeah,
So pop the shot, but do not be here.
yeah, yeah.
This is
Fair.
you should be dead here. So now
Yeah.
I think this your Ashe, your Ashe bails you out here. Your Ashe headshots her. He has to look at you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
good ult, very nice. Kill's a kill, right?
yeah.
Zoning value. A lot of Overwatch Sig teams actually use this ult as almost like a zoning ult,
Yeah, that makes sense.
because it's very difficult to get value out of it at coordinated. Very easy to hide from.
Yeah. So here I was trying to take an angle, but my Pylon can still heal me.
But it doesn't make much sense, because you're going to take this angle here, but the Pylon can only heal you if you peek this way. What if you wanted to pursue this Kiriko? Then you might need to readjust it, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I will say your Pylon placement has also been a little bit silly, because like this Pylon is breakable. I
Yeah,
don't know if you can barely see it right there, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So just something to consider.
Yeah,
Because remember, that Pylon must be... The reason why Pylon is so important is because without the Pylon, all of our positional discussions about angles and egoing and 1v1 are completely irrelevant.
yeah.
And again, here, this is like, do you notice what's wrong with your positioning right now? If you're going to push with Blade, how should you push?
Like on the left behind the wall, not mid, like
Right here?
this,
Clear
especially
her
like
out, then here,
yeah.
right? Yep.
Yeah,
Because the 1v1 target that you don't win
it's Ryan.
is, well, just tanks in general, right? Like,
Yeah.
tanks in general are really, really bad.
Yeah.
These Pylons are respectfully terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, okay, the big thing, like, from our discussion is that I've realized I always try to put my Pylon in a way where it can heal my team. Like, I never try to put it selfishly.
Yes.
And
Great catch.
that's why, like, I was trying to put it on this thing and it kept, like, dying because, yeah.
Right. And what that will do is that will give you a positive feedback loop or negative feedback loop or whatever, where it's like, oh, your Pylon dies, now you're dying to flanks. I guess I can't win 1v1s with this character.
Yeah.
But the reason that you can't win 1v1s is because you're trying to be too much of a support and Pylon for your team, and so you can't Pylon for, and so on, right? So you end up bullying yourself into a more conservative playstyle over and over. Like right now, if the Kiriko or Soldier go on you, you're dead. You are not in a good spot. Nice. You got a little bit of confidence in here.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, peek this. There you go. Now, you can already probably guess what I'm thinking if I'm you here, right? Read my mind. Let's go back to the point in time where I'm starting to second guess things. Right about
Yeah.
here. What am I thinking in the back of my mind positionally?
This is no longer an off angle. Everyone
Right.
is here.
Dynamic
And
positions. If they
so I
push
should
this
move.
here, then I need to move. Now, they don't need to move yet because you need to react to what's actually being done.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, okay, if they push here, where do you go?
I could go to the mini behind. The mega, sorry.
Also?
Or point.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it turns out that they don't.
Yeah.
But what do you think about your positioning now?
Well, I'm still with my Rhine.
Is that a problem?
Not really, because like their Rhine is not really pushing us.
You don't. But do you see where your Genji and your Ana are? Your positioning would be a problem if your Genji was with your Rhine and your Ana was with you.
Yeah.
So now you're the tank healer, and your Ana and Genji are like the off angle, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Really.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
You just want to see like I'm making gestures in the air that you can't see, so I don't know what I'm expecting here. You want like the two pincer approach here, right? So this is fine.
Yeah.
Like your Ryan pushes here, you can support him a little bit healing wise, but mostly just shoot him in the back, right?
Yeah.
Fine. It's good.
Okay.
Need it. Perfect.
I don't know where my Pylon is the whole time though.
Yeah. Okay. So then, how should you deepen? Again, like look at how you're deepening, right?
Yeah.
This is a classic mistake in Overwatch. Even in like contenders Overwatch League, teams will get an advantage and they push. But where should they push?
Well, I could be with my Ashe. Like this
Right.
is where I was originally.
Right.
Like there was kind of no reason for me to go point except I was following my Rhine.
Well, what's scary about you pushing with your Genji, for example, right? Why could you not push this direction here normally? Because this, right?
Ashe,
You got
but
shot in
she's
the
dead.
back. It's the same problem why I didn't like this ultimate from you, right? You needed to push the angle first so that you could push it. But you're doing the same thing here. You kill the Ashe, and then you run it down mid. But the problem is that if you push a little too close, this Kiriko is either going to off angle you from behind, or you're going to end up shooting Rhine Shield.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're pushing with the angle with Ashe, now all of a sudden you've got a much, much better. Like when you have an advantage, push the angle. Don't run it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Safe. It's not only better in terms of like offensive pressure, it's safer.
Okay.
Much safer. Because that's how you lose fights that are won, is by running it down mid, and then they actually catch you, basically.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to your Reinhardt.
Yep.
Exactly what happened to you. Ran it down mid.
I think we lose this even.
That's bad. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Now, I have a question for you. We obviously have 2 VODs today. Do you want to move on to Kiriko, or do you want to keep going with the Illari?
Maybe the Kiriko one.
Works for me. So let's
Yeah.
type up some notes for Illari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some notes already.
Lovely. Then if you already have your notes, then I don't need to type any for you. But hash them over for me. Just read out what you got.
Okay, I have. Okay, first of all is I have the quote that needs to be printed on the shirt is your support because you don't need support.
Pretty much.
Okay. Then relax when you're aiming, but that's then in general positioning, need to position to allow for damage. Then push more angles, especially when we already have an advantage. And regarding to the Pylon, I forgot to write this because I was thinking of it. So Pylon positioning should be more selfish rather than trying to get it for my team and ended up it breaking. And then the final note I had was be more mindful of cover when using ult.
Okay, so lots of little details. Priority for me would definitely be the positioning in the pylon.
Okay.
And work at like executing that one more consistently, and then let the
Okay.
rest just kind of build over time. And then once you get a little bit more natural with it, then you can start to work on your mechanics and think about your ultimate.
Okay. Okay.
Self-VOD review.
Okay. Self-word review. So I am playing Kiriko because
Well, hang on. Self-VOD review with the previous Illari.
oh
Notice how
uh,
that was a lot of teaching early on, and then
yeah,
just kind of like pretty simple, right? And
yeah,
notice that we only looked at like 2, 3 team fights.
yeah.
That's all you need once a week.
Okay,
All you need.
once a week.
Once a week.
Okay.
Once a week. Just ask yourself and be more like learn beginner's mindset with it. Don't necessarily be like, oh, I need to have done that. Be like, what could I have done differently here? Like, could I have positioned here? Was it all right? It don't like upset. Don't like I said. Don't be like, okay, well, we swapped the Ryan, so therefore I'm no, screw off with
Yeah,
that. Just like get the general, basic, fundamental gut feeling stuff and move on. Make it simple.
okay.
I love
Okay.
this skin. What skin is this?
Yeah, it's super cool. I love it too.
Okay. Whereas I don't know what skin this is. It's like
This is a
shops.
timekeeper or something. I think it was like a month ago in the shop.
Gotcha.
But like here I picked Kiriko because I thought like she's decent with the team comp, and I hate the fact that I feel like with Anna you spend your time walking on this map.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah,
Those are always
like
the
here I was
laziest.
trying to like take some angles, but it's annoying with the glass, and yeah.
No comment on that one.
Yeah, that one was slow.
I meant no comment on the glass, but yeah, that too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, your remotes are just freaking died. That's literally one shot. Didn't even use them. That widow is.
Yeah, okay, that was very stupid.
I mean, you just should have Suzu'd, you know? If you're confident in the 1v1, okay, fine. I would have preferred you been near
Yeah.
recover, but like, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I'm not happy with this one because, yeah, like since everyone was backing away, I had no way to like go back, and I think
Right.
it was a bit stupid.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. So here's what. Okay, so let me. This is very important, I think.
Mhm.
When you are playing as like a primary healer, which I think you're doing a little bit more right now.
Yeah.
It's less about doing. It's less about the uptime of your damage. It's less about your APM, and more about when you're finding times to do damage. So you look at their
Okay.
composition. You are a massive threat to their backline. Widow,
Yeah.
Mercy, even Ashe, a little bit of Moira. You are really, really, really. Your damage is so important.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's going to be a lot of healing involved from you too.
Mhm.
So for you, it's going to be about when do I have the opportunity to heal? And I really don't think that there is like a flow chart that I can give you. And if I could, I wouldn't anyway. I think that's for you to kind of figure out. So I want you to focus right now on obviously your positioning. And then I want you to look at when you are finding times to offensively pressure, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
You see it, right?
Yeah, there's an Ashe that's just
Let him
looking
take some
at me.
damage. You know he's at least close to full. He needs to go right now. You need to go right now. Because it's also partly for your own survivability, right? Because right now you're walking into the open at an Ashe that's looking directly at you. You need to be shooting right now.
Yep.
Now, right now, there needs to be a little timer going off in your head that should be saying what?
I need to be in cover, first of all.
Sure.
I should maybe look towards my monkey to see
Correct.
how it's doing.
Correct. It's been a little while, right? So I want to look.
Yeah.
I would look.
And then, yeah.
And then now you're like, oh, right?
Yeah.
Now, what could you do here? What's the aggressive play here?
I TP with monkey, which is what I do. think.
Right. Why does that work here?
I mean, he creates a lot of space, so they won't focus me.
Would you not die? Even if they do
could.
focus you, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay, he has used this bubble.
Also,
There's an Orisa behind us, yeah.
so when you TP, you're TPing away from at least one threat. You see
Yeah.
that? So it's okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Nicely done. It's about finding those windows, right?
Okay.
Finding those windows and nailing them.
Just one question. You said the question should be when do I have opportunity to heal? But
No, sorry, damage.
It's the opposite, the other way.
Yeah,
Okay.
opportunity to damage. Opportunity to damage. I mean, let's look at it this way. Like, let's not pretend that you can be hard flanking this entire game and be successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but I don't know if that is optimal, right? But it's basically you are looking every opportunity to damage you can. Every opportunity to damage. If you're paired with an Ana,
then I can hard flank.
right, then you should be basically playing 24/7, trying to basically play up with your Sojourn on an angle. Now, even now you could, but yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we want? Fine.
It's go time.
Fine. Good. A little bit messy on that engage up the top, but yeah.
Yeah.
I love that it says your team is close to taking the lead at like 30 meters.
I absolutely hate it. It's so confusing.
Little
And I
detail.
can't believe.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Like I can't believe they haven't fixed it. Like, cause sometimes he also says like you lost the lead when no.
Yeah, it's goofy.
Yeah.
Got me?
Yeah, it was a bit late.
No.
Wait,
Opposite.
no, it's 200 that it's one shot. Yeah, a bit early then.
The power is directly the damage. Directly. So you
Yeah.
look at your team's HP right now, basically full.
Taking the lead.
They're
Yeah.
fine. They're fine. Give them another half of a second.
Okay.
Or even just a quarter of a second. I know I'm being like splitting hairs here, but it's actually super important, right? Super
Yeah.
important. Because the duration is only going to last so long. This is like, I do this all the time when I play Orisa. They Suzu early and I kill them anyway.
Okay.
Now, obviously, robot here, important. So I get it. We wish you could be doing damage here. So you're primaling, but it is what it is.
I think I
guys
gave it
commit a lot
up
of-
because Ash was not moving.
Yeah, it's fine. Bless me. Mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your team just ends. You're just giving that up. Okay. Now, you're going to have a little more wiggle room now, right?
Yeah.
This should be immediately in your brain, right? A little bit more
Yeah.
wiggle room to do damage. Just a little bit. But a little bit is still a lot here. Nice. Nice. Suzu. Way too late.
Yeah.
But he's not exactly doing any favors. But you know, yeah, needed to be there.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, how did I know that you were going to be late with this?
Mm,
You're just a little like, this needs to be Suzu now. You know, like this needs to be Suzu
Yeah.
now. So your immediate response is to heal when critical. Like you need to kind of like look at the positioning of this person and tell me this person doesn't need Suzu. You know, like they're
Yeah.
in the middle of the open. It's just like when your Winston bubble breaks, you see him critical. The guy needs Suzu.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to have that like that response. You know, where you're either tracking their positioning or tracking their cooldowns, and just obviously streamlining as much as you possibly can. There really is
Okay.
no shortcut to it.
I'm grateful.
And this is silly, right? Windows to do damage, right? This is one
Yeah.
right now. Would it have mattered? No, probably not. But still,
yeah, but I had no reason to
habit.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, good. Can't worry about that one, right?
Yeah.
Push started. Let's go. I'm with you.
Sure.
Breathe that robot back.
Cover usage is just a little shaky at times. I know it's difficult in an open map like this, but something to keep an eye on. Windows to do damage. Very important.
Yeah.
There's the Fade Force for free. Window to do damage. Wide open now.
Yeah. No more tank.
The robot.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh.
Yeah. It was a tragic accident.
Oh, no comment, no comment, no comment.
Wait. Yeah,
Oh.
sometimes it's just not sticking. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay.
And now I have again to heal maybe a bit more.
I would agree with that. Your tank is terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe a small thing to kind of pick up, though, right? This person seems very intent on dying no matter what you do. So, you know, heal them as necessary. But now I'm also psychologically thinking, as if I need to clarify that. I'm thinking like, okay, you're just gonna feed. All right, I'm gonna kind of tweak my little inner meter towards damage, right? If you're gonna die regardless, like I look at this right here and I'm like, this person is not a real human being, right?
Yeah.
What is going on? What is she doing? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Right? So like, okay, then you're gonna do that? All right, fine. We're not going to win. I'm not gonna put enough pressure by allowing you to play your game. You are dead weight.
Yeah.
So, like right now,
Yeah,
like,
I
heal
remember
her-
that
heal-
I was
heal her-
fucking different. Like,
it's fine to heal her now because there really is an opportunity for you to do damage. But as soon as I get the opportunity to do damage,
Yeah.
I'm literally saying screw off here.
I think what's less fine is that I used my ult essentially because I wanted to be able to heal her more because she was dying.
Right.
That's very stupid, I think.
Right. Like here, it's like as soon as this clicks, I'm just going. I'm just DPSing.
Yeah.
DPS. I might not even look at my result. I'm just shoot.
Yeah.
Right. You're a little late in the Suzu, which kind of sucks, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Also, I remember that I was not aware that she had DMEC,
Bomb?
not DMEC, bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Group up with me.
And- yeah, she is a major feeder.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Like, okay, potentially would it have been like a good idea to swap to Anna at this point?
Why? So you could
And
do
if
more
she's
healing.
gonna- Yeah.
You know, like it clearly I mean, to be honest with you, at this point, just play whatever you want. If you're enjoying the Kiriko, think the Kiriko works. I think it works just fine. Play Kiriko.
Yeah.
If I go on
don't
it, it's
know.
because I want to land anti-nades and shoot people, right? And get big nanos.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not doing this because I can heal more. Now I understand what you're saying, like where it's a little bit easier to just handle the diva quickly and still find offensive value with nade. But
Yeah.
like I wouldn't necessarily.
Okay.
And see, even here, like I know, like get to cover and don't TP. Get to cover and keep shooting, right?
Yeah.
Like I look at this here and like you TP out to your mercy. Really, all you needed to be doing was just hug either left or right more, and then just keep shooting here. Like you're not scared of an Ashe at this range. Ashe should be
Yeah, I
scared of
think
you.
I was afraid my mercy was gonna die actually.
This person is not real.
Yeah.
They're not real. Like right? So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that. I mean, I'm being kind of bully here, but like it's just the nature of matchmaking. It might be a plat player, or a gold
Yeah.
player. Like it's just how it is. I do like the fact that your guy gets demeched and your first response is to immediately flank. I think that's good. The only thing here is that obviously, like you said, maybe a little bit too cheeky without a TP, but it is what it is. I honestly wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean I end up a bit staggering because yeah.
Okay. See, as soon as I see this, I'm like, again, you see the problem here, right? She's dead. She's dead. She's just
Yeah.
dead, right? Like, so what should she be doing right now, right? Okay, as soon as your Sojourn
Shoot
dies.
Moira so
Or-
that maybe she stops.
I mean, you see these guys?
Yeah.
Come on. That's your job. Deal with them.
Yeah.
Because even your healing per second, even if this guy wasn't feeding, your healing per second is not enough to keep her up under 5 targets shooting her, right? So you need to remove some of those targets from shooting her, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just that, oh, your guy's feeding. I still think that you're missing opportunities to do damage.
Okay.
And I think that's a very important thing. Because it's not always about heal, 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 or damage, damage, damage. It's not even necessarily all about weaving. I think the more I coach and play this character, the more I realize that weaving is really not a very important part of your kit. It's good to know, but more often than not, it's going to be mostly damage or mostly healing, depending on the circumstance.
Yeah.
Use it. Yeah. Ult's been fine, by the way. They did something. They
killed stuff.
They got their r/Overwatch clip. Cover usage is terrible. I do find that to be a more common problem with characters with mobility, whether it's Tracer, Kiriko, Illari. Because you have that mobility, you tend to just forget that I can play cover here, and it gets you killed. And when it doesn't get you killed, it makes you hide and TP away when you could have just stayed if you played cover better and done more damage.
Okay.
So I want more damage, more cover.
Okay.
Fine. It's fine, but like here, it's like, again, like there's the window to do damage, right? So like, what should you do here, right?
Go high ground and shoot at them.
Wall climb up, start shooting at Mercy, start shooting at Moira, Soldier, and so on. You got to get out of this here.
Yeah.
Right, now it's over, right? No pressure.
Yeah.
Healing hasn't mattered. Because you healed the tank, but yet your DPS still died. Why did your DPS die? Because there's no pressure on backline or frontline or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, like here I feel like I'm needlessly far from the wall.
Correct, right? There's nowhere else you could be, but you see you almost Suzu'd there because you got spooked.
Yeah.
And then that's going to force a TP, and then which is going to get you killed by the Cole, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of your cover usage is shaky here. Let's watch one more. Let's just finish this.
To be honest, I feel like I TP'd to save my diva and then she just flew away. But
that could also be the issue, right? I mean, I realize this in quick play all the time because I'll like quick play with friends, and you know, I'm usually, depending on the lobby, okay, no comment, but I'm usually like one of the higher ranked players in the lobby, and sometimes we'll get queued with like a gold tank or plat tank, and I'm like, I'll play support, and I'm like, I can't stop healing them. You're not going to win the fight by healing them. But yeah, okay, here we go. What do you got?
One of my bullet points is just give up.
Give up?
I think I should have detailed more this one.
Okay.
Just give up on your tank if they're feeling too hard.
Okay, so ignoring that was a minor detail.
Ignoring that, yeah. Mostly the two big things were cover and finding opportunity to do damage.
Correct. Finding opportunities to do damage and better cover usage. I think it's really that simple for you.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not about uptime of your damage, right? Because sometimes it's a lot of healing. But then, okay, here are the really impactful shots that I can land here. It's not even about the weaving. It's about finding the opportunities, finding those windows. Go ahead.
No, also I had the minor point of like, some Suzus were pretty late, so I need to like get a bit better, I guess, at predicting when I'm gonna need it rather than just reacting to low HP.
Yeah. Thinking ahead of time, like who's going to need it. Obviously, a lot of the squishies, it might be like, oh, an ult was just popped or whatever. But I think that like a lot of it is, especially with tanks, it's like you see Orisa with the Fortify, you see Divas getting low, Winston no bubble. I think you could probably predict that this is going to be an issue. So yeah, okay. Any questions?
Okay. Nope.